The sky was calm that night. Stars shined over Earth like they always did. But then, something strange happened. All over the world, satellites picked up a signal. It wasn't from Earth. It was not natural. It came from deep space. It was meant for humans. The signal was not loud or dangerous. It was soft, smooth, like a whisper in the ear. Every country received the same message, spoken in perfect human languages. We are the Galactic Council. We have been watching you. You are not alone. You are now seen. We offer you our protection. At first, people were confused. Was this a trick? A prank? But scientists confirmed that this was real. The message came from a large object now floating just outside Earth's orbit. It was not a spaceship. It looked like a floating crystal glowing with soft blue light. It did not move. It simply waited. Governments around the world went into emergency meetings. Some wanted to answer right away. Some were afraid. But one thing was clear. This was first contact with alien life. The world was forever changed. A secret meeting took place in an underground bunker in Switzerland. Leaders from the biggest countries gathered. A large screen showed the alien crystal, zoomed in by a satellite camera. This is not an attack, the UN leader said. They offer help. Or control, said General Adams, an old war veteran from the United States. His voice was cold. We don't know their plan. What kind of power offers protection for free? They say space is dangerous, another leader added. They say something worse is coming. Yes, General Adams said, and they say only they can save us. Fear. That smells like fear control. That night, the signal played again. This time it was different. The voice said, We are not here to harm you. But the darkness beyond your solar system grows. As many young races have fallen, you must not face it alone. Accept our shield. Accept our guidance. People around the world started to believe. On social media, millions posted messages like aliens are real and the galaxy is here to help us. There were parties, celebrations. Some called it the Great Awakening. But not everyone trusted the council. In a lab in Tokyo, a small group of scientists tried to decode the signal. They found something strange. Part of the message was hidden, buried deep in the data. It was like a whisper under the voice. Warning, it said just one line, do not trust the council. The message had no source, no signature, but it was old, very old. It's much older than Earth's radio systems. Dr. Yuki, the lead scientist, looked at her team. Someone placed this inside their signal. Someone who knows them. Someone who's trying to warn us. She reported the discovery to the secret council in Switzerland. General Adams leaned forward. So we are being watched by two sides. One wants to protect us. The other hides and whispers. What if this is a trap? Asked the president of Brazil. What if Earth is just the next cage? We have no proof of danger, said a calm voice. It was the AI advisor from the European Union. Accepting help could save us. General Adams stood up. His voice was sharp now. And if we accept their help, we may never stand on our own. Earth must decide. Do we grow strong ourselves or do we live under someone else's shield forever? That same night, the crystal in space changed. It opened. A soft blue light reached toward Earth like a hand stretching out. No weapons, no force, just light. In every human language, the voice spoke again. This is our gift. A defense system. Place it in your orbit. It will guard your planet from outside threats. On the ground, people watched in awe as the gift floated down slowly, wrapped in light. News channels broadcast it live. Earth is now protected, one anchor said with tears. The galaxy has welcomed us. But in a hidden military base in Alaska, a satellite technician ran into the control room. Sir, he shouted, we've picked up a new signal. It's not from the council. General Adams took the report and read it. His hands tightened. The message was short. They are lying. Do not install the device. It will make Earth blind to what's coming. In the shadows of deep space, something else moved. It was far, silent, watching. Back on Earth, leaders argued. Accept the gift or delay. The people wanted safety, but the warning, the hidden message, could not be ignored, And above them all, the crystal waited. Glowing, silent, patient Earth had a choice to make. And time was running out. The world stood still. The alien gift floated above Earth, glowing softly like a blue moon. It was beautiful, silent, powerful. News channels called it the Guardian. People believed it would protect them, but not everyone believed the Council. General Adams did not sleep that night. He stood in front of a large screen, watching the blue object orbit Earth. His face was hard. "They want us blind," he said. "They want us weak before the real threat comes." In Tokyo, Dr. Yuki continued decoding the hidden messages. More strange data came, and someone was sending silent signals toward Earth. Not from the Council, not from humans, from somewhere else. A young intern noticed something strange. "Doctor, the signal is bouncing off Jupiter. Something is hiding there." At the same time, the second warning came. This time, not as a whisper, but a loud, clear message received by Earth's deep space antennas. The message said, "They offer you protection, but they will soon offer you chains. The ones who take the shield lose their sky. Will become one of them." Panic broke out in secret government channels. 3 warnings in less than 48 hours. In Geneva, the Emergency Council gathered again. President Mbeki from South Africa slammed her fist on the table. "How can we trust anyone now?" The Chinese general spoke next. "We cannot afford to make a mistake. We must test the gift. Open it. Understand what it really is." "But if we touch it," said the German chancellor, "they may see it as an attack." General Adams stood slowly, then let them. He looked at the group with cold eyes. "We will not bow before unknown masters." The next day, a stealth drone was launched. It flew quietly toward the Blue Guardian. It was the most advanced drone on Earth, built with tech from 5 nations. As it approached the alien device, its cameras zoomed in. At first, the object did nothing. Then everything went dark. The drone vanished. Its signal was cut, its memory gone. Nothing returned. Not a sound, not a signal. Not even space dust. Earth had just lost its best drone. The Council said nothing, but 12 hours later, the alien voice returned. It was no longer soft. It was strong. Serious. "Do not test our protection. We came in peace. But peace must be accepted willingly or not at all." The world reacted in 2 ways. Half of humanity begged its leaders to accept the Guardian. The other half demanded answers. Riots broke out in major cities. Some people tried to destroy government buildings, believing the truth was being hidden. Others prayed to the Council as if they were gods. In space, something worse happened. A space station orbiting Mars' call sign Oasis went dark. No alarm, no warning. It's just silence. Oasis was the most secure research station. It held data, weapons, and experimental tech. All 113 crew members were lost. Earth sent 2 emergency ships to investigate. What they found was terrifying. The station was still there, but hollow. The walls were clean. No burns, no signs of attack. Just empty, like the people had vanished into air. On the walls, scratched in deep metal, were 3 words. "It is watching." The Council again said nothing, but humans had seen enough. Earth's secret military program, Project Iron Sky, was activated. Underground bases in Antarctica, the Moon, and even under the sea began working around the clock. Earth would not sit and wait. It would prepare. In secret, in one of those bases, a young female officer named Commander Arya stood in front of a 3D star map. She was one of the youngest to lead a space mission. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were sharp. "We now know something is hiding near Jupiter," she said. "It sent us a warning. Not once, but 3 times. An older scientist beside her nodded. "And that something is hiding from the Council." "Which means," Arya said slowly, "the Council doesn't control everything. They fear something too." Back in orbit, the Guardians still floated peacefully. It looked like a gift, a promise. But what if it was a prison? What if the Council didn't fear the darkness? What if they feared what humanity might become? In the deep black near Jupiter, the thing that sent the warning finally moved. Slowly, carefully. Its shape was unknown. Not metal, not alive, but something. Ancient. It looked toward Earth, and its surface glowed faintly. Not with threat, but with memory. It had seen Earth before, long, long ago, and now. It waited to see what choice humans would make. The galaxy was watching. And Earth's answer would change everything. The Blue Guardian still circled Earth, silent, peaceful. But behind that silence, fear was growing. The Council had said nothing since the warning. No answers. No reaction after the Mars station vanished. Earth knew. Now, this was no gift. It was a test, or maybe a trap. But humanity would not wait to find out. In secret, Earth prepared. Project Iron Sky became Earth's top priority. No media knew. No citizen was told. Only a few leaders and military heads had access. The plan was simple. Build Earth's own fleet, build its own weapons. Never depend on outsiders. In a base deep under the ice of Antarctica, General Adams stood in a room full of screens. All of you know the risk, he said to the people in the room. We have no idea what's coming. But if they think we're weak, they will treat us like children, or worse, like property. The screen. It showed a secret hangar on the moon. Inside it, something huge was being built. We're not asking for war, he said. We're preparing for survival. The moon base, codenamed Black Echo, had been in construction for 5 years, but now it was working 24/7. Mining machines dug into the lunar crust. Engineers from 12 countries worked together in silence. Their task, build Earth's first deep space warship. It was called Vanguard 1. No one outside Project Iron Sky, even, knew it existed. At the same time, Mars colonies went quiet to the public. The media was told it was for safety. But behind the scenes, Mars labs were working on something very old. Decades ago, strange ruins were found under the red sands. Strange symbols, strange energy, not human, not council. Earth had kept it secret. All these years now they were decoding it. In the underground lab, Dr. Yuki stood in front of a floating shape. It was part machine, part stone. It gave off no heat, no light. But it was vibrating. It's waking up, she whispered. A young assistant looked scared. Is it from the council? No, she said. It's older, much older. A voice capped on the control panel. A voice came from the machine. Not spoken, just felt. Children of the fire. You are not the first. Choose your sky. Dr. Yuki stared at the stone. It knows we're here, she said, and it remembers something. Back on Earth, training camps opened in secret, not for armies, for pilots, the best minds, best reflexes, best instincts. Men and women chosen from every country. They were trained to fly ships that didn't even exist. Yet ships still in design, Commander Arya was chosen to lead the first team. Her voice was steady as she spoke to her new pilots. Some of you think this is about fighting aliens, she said. It's not. She walked in front of them, her hands behind her back. This is about proving one thing. Humans are not prey. We are not children. We're not a species that hides under someone else's wings. She stopped and looked each pilot in the eyes. We build our own wings. And we burn through the sky. Far above, the council still watched. They sent another message. You delay your decision. We urge you, install the shield. It is dangerous to face what comes alone.
Oh.
But Earth sent no reply. Instead, they sent a second stealth probe toward Jupiter, the place where the warnings came from. This time, the probe had better tech. It had no weapons, only eyes. The journey took 2 days. The probe reached the shadow behind Jupiter, and what it saw changed everything. There was a shape in the dark. Not a ship. It's not a station. Something else. Like a scar in space. Like a hole. With light around it, inside it was something watching. The probe tried to scan it. The image flashed once and then stopped. But just before it shut down, it sent one final picture. General Adams stared at the screen in his war room. The image showed part of the shape, It was full of symbols. One of them matched the ruins on Mars. He didn't blink. "So," he said, "whoever warned us is older than the Council." Back on the moon, Vanguard 1 powered up for the first time. It was not yet ready for battle, but it could fly. Earth's first starship was born in silence. No bright lights, no celebrations, just quiet pride and quiet fear, because now Earth was stepping into the unknown. But it would not go in blind. It would go ready. And above it all, the Guardian still waited, still glowing, still watching soon. It would ask again, and this time, Earth would have an answer. The Blue Guardian still floated above Earth like a quiet moon. But peace had left the world long ago. Trust was gone. Fear had taken its place. Still, the Council remained silent, watching, waiting, but not for long. One day, without warning, a Council ship arrived in Earth's orbit. It was not large. It was silver, shaped like a needle. It made no sound, just appeared, and then a message came. "We are sending inspectors to ensure Earth's safety. No need to be alarmed. This is standard for all new member worlds." The message sounded calm, polite, even friendly. But Earth's leaders knew better. This was not a visit. It was a test, or worse, a search. General Adams stood in the Geneva Command Center with other top leaders. On the screen, the alien ship was slowly opening. "They're coming down," said the tech officer. One craft heading for Washington, D.C. The ship dropped something small. It looked like a smooth silver egg. It landed near the White House lawn without a scratch. No explosion. No threat. It opened. Two beings stepped out. One looked human, tall, pale skin, no hair, thin face. The other did not look alive. It was a machine, floating, silent. Its surface was smooth and black like glass. No eyes, no face. It was called a seeker. Dr. Yuki watched the footage from Tokyo. Her hands were cold. "Seeker," she whispered. "I've read about it in old alien files. It doesn't talk. It doesn't move. Like a robot. It reads minds." The human-looking alien introduced himself as Envoy Elian. He smiled gently and bowed before the cameras. "We are here to help," he said. "Earth is precious, but we must confirm you are not under outside influence. There are darker forces in the galaxy." No one trusted his smile. Elian asked to visit Earth's labs, to scan government systems, to check for hidden technologies. But the real fear was the seeker. It moved slowly through buildings, almost floating. People near it said they felt cold. Some said it whispered things into their minds. Others collapsed, shaking with fear. Then something strange happened. The seeker entered a research lab in Virginia. It stopped near a wall where nothing was stored, but it stayed there for 3 hours silent before leaving. Later that night, one of the scientists in that lab took their own life. No message, no signs, just a whisper recorded on their computer. "We are not alone in the dark, but we are never safe." Earth knew. Now they couldn't hide everything. So they made a choice. They would hide what mattered most in places no mind reader could reach. Far beneath the moon, in a chamber built from special metals, Earth's secrets were moved. Weapons, AI systems. The new Vanguard 2 and the signal Ketha decoded peace from the alien ruins on Mars. It was still glowing, still alive, and it was reacting. Dr. Yuki stood with Commander Arya in the lunar base. "It's learning," Dr. Yuki said. "It's watching us build, and it's not afraid." Arya frowned. "You think it's trying to help us?" "No," Yuki said. "I think it wants us to help ourselves." Back on Earth, the Seeker returned to its ship. The alien envoy gave his final message. "We see your progress, but we sense danger in your future. You must act quickly. Install the shield. Accept our help, or the shadows will find you." Then they left. But they were not alone. One of Earth's stealth satellites tracked a hidden signal sent from the Council ship. Not to their fleet, but to something far beyond, something near the edge of the solar system. The signal was short. And in code, Earth's AI broke the code in minutes. The message said, "Earth is awakening. They're not ready, but they are no longer weak. Observation must continue. Prepare the chains." General Adams stared at the decoded message. His voice, it was quiet but full of steel. "They don't want to protect us," he said. "They want to keep us small. They want us to stay under their rule forever." He looked at the stars. Well, they're too late. The next week, Earth sent its first test ship Falcon 1 to the outer rim of the solar system. Its mission: find the source of the first warnings near Jupiter, and if possible, make contact. The ship was small, fast, and silent. Only 3 crew members. As they passed Saturn, something pinged them, not a weapon, not a signal, a pulse. Like a knock. The pilot looked at the screen. "Captain, something just sent us coordinates." The captain stared. The location was outside the solar system, but not too far. A cold, empty region called the Kuiper Line. No one had ever gone there. The captain turned to the crew. "Should we go?" The answer came from deep inside the ships. AI, a voice none of them had heard before. A voice that sounded human but old. "You are ready. Come." Earth's secrets were no longer safe, and someone out there had just opened the next door. Far beyond Neptune, the Falcon 1 moved through the cold black of space. The ship was quiet. The crew was alert. It had passed the edge of known territory. No satellites, no signals, no light. Only stars. The last message they received wasn't from Earth. It wasn't from the Council. It was from something else. Something ancient, a voice said. "You are ready. Come." They followed the coordinates. As they neared the location, the ship's sensors started failing. The stars twisted. In strange ways, the crew felt pressure in their heads like something was watching them without eyes. Then, suddenly it appeared. A structure floated in the dark. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a station. It looked like a huge stone ring, cracked and broken. Old, covered in strange glowing lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. The ship's AI spoke first. "I have no record of this place." The captain, a quiet woman named Mira, whispered, "We weren't meant to have records." The ship stopped near. The ring, no weapons fired, no sound came. Then the voice returned. But now it filled the ship. "Children of Earth, we remember you. Long ago, your kind stood with us. Before you were small, before you forgot. Now, you remember again." Captain Mira replied, "Who are you?" The voice paused. "We are not many. We do not speak to the Council. We do not care for rulers. We remember when your people fought the dark. We remember when you were wild and brave. We came only once before. We come only once again." A bright light formed in the center of the ring. The crew stared. A small object floated out. No larger than a box, black metal, glowing from the inside. The voice said, "This is a key, a weapon, a shield. It can be only one. Choose what it becomes. Use it only when your sky burns. Once used, it cannot be undone." The object entered the ship, and the ring faded, vanished, like it was never there. Falcon 1 returned to Earth with the object. It was locked inside layers of shields, deep in a bunker beneath the moon. Dr. Yuki studied it for hours. The metal didn't match anything on the periodic table. The glow inside seemed alive. "It's not just a weapon," she whispered. "It's a choice." Commander Arya stood beside her. "What happens if we use it?" Yuki looked at her. "Win something and lose something." Meanwhile, Earth's leaders met again. The Guardians still floated above them. The Council had gone silent after the Seeker visit. But Earth knew the Council was watching and waiting. General Adams addressed the room. "We are no longer a helpless planet. We now know we have history. They tried to hide from us. We had allies once. We have them again." He played a recording of the ancient voice. Some of the leaders looked shocked. Others smiled. "Now we have something the Council doesn't control," Adams said. "But we must use it only when the moment is right," they agreed. The object was named Project Aegis. It would remain locked. For now then, the sky changed again. Hundreds of ships appeared. Council ships. They came without warning, without sound. They surrounded Earth in a perfect ring. The message came. This is not a war. This is protection. You have delayed too long. The Guardian will now activate. We will ensure your safety by force if needed. Earth had only hours to respond. News broke across the world. People panicked. Some prayed. Some protested. Some cheered, believing the Council would stop the chaos. But Earth was ready. From the Moon, Vanguard 1 launched silently. From Mars, hidden strike crafts took position. From Antarctica, AI satellites rose into orbit. Commander Arya sat in the S. Command Chair of Vanguard 1. Her voice was calm, targeting systems online. Fleet in position. General Adams gave the order. No fire unless fired upon. Let them speak first. Let them show their truth. Council spoke again. We come in peace. But peace requires order. You will no longer delay. You will install the Guardian device now, or we will do it for you. Earth responded. General Adams' voice was sent across space. Earth is not your child. We do not need your chains. You may leave now, or we will show you what we have become. Silence. Then, for the first time, a council ship charged its weapons. Commander Arya whispered, so they finally show their hand.
What is it is the oleg what is way is why welly is why is why was why is why when why is I was why is when why what is why is this is why is why is the way
Up. The dark metal began to glow red. The object project had just started humming deep in its chamber, and then the sky lit up. The sky above Earth turned dark. Hundreds of council ships now circled the planet. They were large, silver, silent. Some were the size of cities. Others were sleek, like long knives floating in the dark. They didn't speak again. They didn't need to. Their weapons charged. Flashes of red and gold danced in the clouds. The Guardian in orbit started to glow brighter. Earth's leaders knew the Council had made their choice, so Earth made theirs. From the far side of the Moon, Vanguard 1 moved into position. Its hull shimmered with advanced armor, part human and part alien, built in secret.
Rested in silence.
Now, it was ready. Commander Arya sat in her chair. Round her, the crew worked fast, hands flying over controls. Enemy ships locked, awaiting orders. Arya stared at the screen. She didn't blink. If they fire, we fire. Down on Earth, General Adams stood in the main control bunker. We warned them, he said. Now they'll learn. The first shot came from the Council, a giant beam of light strong enough to destroy a continent shot toward Earth's atmosphere. But it never landed. A hidden satellite between the Council fleet and Earth activated. It used Earth's first quantum shield, powered by alien ruins discovered on Mars. The beam hit the shield and vanished. Then Earth struck back from orbit. Small fighter ships launched, fast AI assisted, controlled by elite human pilots trained. In secret, they danced between the Council ships like angry bees. They weren't stronger, but they were smarter. They moved in ways no Council machine expected. They used strange paths, gravity flips, and light tricks. One by one, smaller Council drones began to fall. Then Vanguard 1 fired. The blast wasn't loud. It was quiet. A thin beam of white energy left the ship. It struck a council cruiser. The cruiser didn't explode. It disappeared in 1 second. It was there. The next second, gone. Not burned. Not broken. Just erased. The council fleet froze. For the first time, they didn't understand what had happened. Commander Arya spoke into her mic. That was just a warning shot. But Earth wasn't done. From deep space, Falcon 1 returned. Had dropped secret beacons near Jupiter weeks ago. Those beacons now woke up, and from behind the gas giant. Hidden Earth drones came flying in, unseen, untouched, undetected. They hit the council ships from behind piercing engines. Cutting through metal, a second council cruiser exploded. Still, council fought back. Big ships turned and fired beams, gravity bombs and plasma waves. Some Earth ships were lost. One base on the moon took a direct hit. Dozens died, but Earth didn't stop because something had changed, for the first time in galactic history. A young world was fighting back and winning then. The Guardian began to change. The blue light turned red, its shape twisted. It opened like a flower made of blades. It was not a shield. It was a control device designed to lock Earth's orbit if activated. It would trap the planet inside a field, no signals, no ships, no escape. General Adams slammed his fist on the table. They were going to trap us all along, Dr. Yuki spoke from the moon. We can't destroy it without hitting Earth. Commander Arya looked at her crew. Then we used the key. All eyes turned to her. The Aegis. One officer asked. It's not tested. We don't even know if we'll survive. Arya's voice was steady. If we don't act now, the Council wins. A secret chamber inside Vanguard 1 opened. Inside was Project Aegis, the ancient gift from the Forgotten Allies. It floated into place. It began to glow white. Gold, then blinding blue. Earth sent one final warning to the Council. Leave, or we unleash the sky. No reply came. The Guardian began to pulse faster. The trap was seconds from activation. Then, Arya gave the command. Fire. Sound like thunder broke the silence of space. But there was no explosion. Instead, a wave of light spread out in all. Directions from Vanguard 1, Council ships touched by the wave stopped moving. Dead, not broken, just silent. The Guardian flickered, then shattered into a million tiny pieces. No fire, no scream, just silence. Total silence. The Council fleet turned, slowly, one by one. They left no message, no goodbye, only silence. Earth had won, but it was not a clean victory. Thousands had died. Several orbiting labs were lost, and now the galaxy knew. Humanity was no longer small. No longer silent. They had refused protection. They had survived the storm, and now the real danger would begin. The battle was over. The sky above Earth was quiet again. The Guardian was gone, shattered into light. Council ships had left. They didn't speak. They didn't threaten. Just disappeared into the black dot. No one knew if they would return, but Earth had made its choice. It had said no, and the galaxy had listened. For the first time in history, a young planet had stood up against the oldest power in the stars and survived. But victory had a price. Vanguard. One returned to its hidden dock. On the far side of the moon, its hull was damaged. 2 engines had burned out. 4 crew members were lost. On Mars, the surface was still shaking from the aftershock of the battle above. In orbit, small rescue craft searched for escape pods, lost fighters. People across Earth watched the sky differently now. Not with wonder, but with strength. They no longer felt small. They no longer felt afraid in a quiet hospital orbiting Earth. A baby girl was born. Her name was Hope. She was the first child born after the Battle of the Shield. But something was different. When the doctors checked her eyes, they stopped moving. Her eyes glowed faintly. Not bright. Just a shimmer, like starlight back on the moon. Dr. Yuki sat beside the ancient object Project Aegis. It no longer glowed. Its power was spent. But something inside it still pulsed. She whispered, You saved us. But why did you choose us? No answer came. But on her screen a symbol appeared. It was not human, it was not council, it was something else. A circle. A flame. A seed. Then the screen went dark, in a deep base under the Atlantic Ocean. General Adams gave one last speech before retiring. He stood before a group of young officers. You were born in a world that believed Earth was small, he said. That we were lucky to be noticed. We needed protection from the stars. He paused. But now you know the truth. He pointed upward. We were never weak. We were just untested. And when the test came, we passed. The crowd stood in silence. Outside the bunker, new ships were being built. Not for war, for travel. Exploration Earth would not hide anymore. It would rise. Commander Arya now led a new group project Dawn. Its goal, explore beyond the solar system. Find the ancient allies. Find out who Earth used to be and what it was becoming. One of her pilots asked, Do you think they'll come back? The council. She looked out at the stars. They might, but this time we'll be waiting. Years. Past Earth grew stronger, faster, smarter. They began to send missions beyond Pluto. They found more ruins, more signals, some friendly, some not. But they were ready. Then one day, something changed. A signal came, not from the council, not from the allies. It came from somewhere new, a world far outside known space. The message was simple. What you did. We thought your kind was weak. We were wrong. We are coming. Earth tracked the source. It was from a world-long thought. It's destroyed, a world the council had once erased. It was alive, and it remembered Earth at the same time. The child named Hope grew older. She was not normal. She learned languages. Before she could walk, she solved complex problems with no help. She looked at the stars and whispered things no one understood. One night, she looked up and said, The silence won't last. Dr. Yuki sat beside her. What do you mean? Hope smiled. A small, quiet smile. They're not afraid of us anymore, she said. They're curious. A new age had begun. Earth was no longer a protected world. It was no longer a hidden world. It was a power, a flame in the dark, and somewhere far away. Other flames were waking up, watching, listening, waiting, because Earth had not just survived, it had spoken. And now, the galaxy would never be the same.